Hello everyone, welcome to the lesson, The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. We'll be discussing this chapter through and through, so for the next couple of minutes, I would like your complete and undivided attention. We'll quickly go through the summary. The story of The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse is of two tribal Armenian boys who belong to the Garo-Galanian tribe. For their tribe and their family, even in times of extreme poverty, nothing could match up the importance of honesty. In other words, you can say that honesty is the trademark of their tribe as well as their family. The story talks about an event where two boys, two young lads who are cousins in reality, Aram and Murad, Aram who is 9 and Murad who's 13, take control of a beautiful white horse. The world for Aram at that time seemed to be a delightful and extremely joyous yet mysterious dream. Murad, on the other hand, was considered to be crazy by everyone who knew him and everybody he knew. The story opens with Murad coming to Aram's house at 4 in the morning, tapping on his window. When Aram looked out of the window, he's taken aback, he's dazzled, he's startled because he looks at a beautiful white horse. In fact, he's so dazed that Murad has to say, "Yes, it is a horse, and you're not dreaming." All this is very unbelievable to him because he knows the financial condition of his house. They are very poor and they cannot afford a horse. The only way Murad can possess this horse is by stealing. But boys being boys and young being young, they were too honest to lie and yet too crazy to ride a horse. You may very well understand the feeling of the two boys. If you're passionate about riding and if there's this Ducati Scrambler or Ducati Monster parked right in front of your house, you'll definitely want to give it a try. So, just like you are passionate about riding bikes, these boys were passionate about riding a horse. And of course, they were too honest to lie and yet too crazy to ride one. Thus, they keep the horse for 2 weeks and they hit the country roads, they ride the horse, singing to their heart's content and riding the horse. But in the meanwhile, Aram comes to know that this horse has been stolen from a farmer, John Byro. This he comes to know by eavesdropping a conversation between John Byro and his Uncle Khusro. Despite knowing that this horse has been possessed by them by means of stealing, Aram, though guilty conscious, was not very keen on returning the horse that very soon because he wanted to actually learn how to ride that horse. But one fine day, they finally have a truck with John the farmer. Truck, as in they finally bump into him. And John is amazed at the resemblance of the horse with his actual own horse because, of course, that is his horse only. And he says, "I swear it was my horse if I did not know your parents." So the next day, the two boys, Aram and Murad, put the horse back in John Byro's vineyard in the barn. And John is, of course, very happy that his horse has returned, so much so that he tells about the incident to Aram's mother. So, what do we need to know about here? Like, why have they returned the horse? Why have the two young boys returned the horse? Is it because they are guilty conscious and the honesty of their tribe and the honesty ingrained in them pricked their conscience for them to return the horse, or were they scared that one fine day John Byro would actually find out that it is their horse, so might as well return it? Let's find out. To know the answer of this question, you'll have to wait till the end of the video. Of course, it's a clickbait. Moving on, we'll discuss the theme of the chapter. The theme of this story is the idea of redemption through one's actions. Now, you might ask, what is redemption? So, redemption is the action of saving or being saved from sin and evil. So, though the boys, what they did was wrong and they knew what they did was wrong, but by undertaking the action of returning the horse, they redeemed themselves or they saved themselves of being caught in the vicious circle of evilness. There is little doubt or no doubt that Aram and Murad did wrong by taking the horse. However, one of the most compelling elements of the story is that John Byro, the horse's actual owner, does not seek vengeance or extreme retribution for the actions. Extreme retribution means extreme measures, like he did not punish them and things like that. He understands that the boys understand that they should be accountable for their actions. In fact, the, the taking of the horse by the boys has trained the horse to be better, and also the horse is conditioned better. The redemptive powers of forgiveness, understanding, and community are the themes that has been enhanced through the story. Moving on to the character sketch of Uncle Khusro, this the sentence "It's no harm, pay no attention" is Uncle Khusro's catchphrase. He is a character of the story. The character strikes as funny with his immediate dismissal of any problem with his catchphrase "It's no harm, pay no attention." Be it his house burning, be it someone's livelihood, that is his horse getting stolen, or even getting returned in the first place, he doesn't pay any attention to it, and he dismisses it by saying "It's no harm, pay no attention." He is the uncle of the protagonist Aram. He is notorious and for his bad temper. He is highly impatient and set aside any problem without even listening to the proper details. When his son reported that their house was on fire, he shouted the same: "It's no harm, pay no attention to it." Now, it is a matter of debate whether this is because he's slightly mad or he's just bad tempered and impatient. When Murad, Aram's cousin, allegedly borrowed — I'm using the term allegedly here because we know it is not borrowed and but rather stolen, but since the horse has been returned, we can't even claim it as stolen. So let's say allegedly borrowed Mr. Byro's horse so that they could ride it for a while. He was rather thoughtless and risked the reputation of their tribe for honesty. So much so that it made Aram wonder if Murad had inherited Uncle Khusrov's impulsive nature. At the end of the story, when John Byro came to their house to complain that about his horse being stolen, Uncle Khusrov shouted at him by asking him to pay no attention to it. And if you've gone through the last parts of the story, even when he came to announce that his horse had come back, he repeated the same phrase. Coming on to the character sketch of Murad. Considered crazy and a direct descendant of Uncle Khusro, Murad seemed to have a special way with animals and even with people. He could make them feel calm and safe. He looked after the horse in such a manner that John Byro found it better tempered and healthy on its return. Murad, too, seems fascinated with horses and isn't beyond bending the rules to get what he wants. Perhaps he chooses not to tell Aram that he stole the horse to save Aram from the trouble too. Murad is a free spirited child of nature who enjoys being alive. He does have a conscience and hence chooses to return the horse when reminded of his family's honorable reputation. Moving on to the character sketch of Aram. Aram, in spite of being the younger sibling, was more practical. I'm sorry, he's not the sibling, he's a cousin. Aram, in spite of being the younger cousin, was more practical. He was not as crazy as his elder cousin. He was neither a good rider nor as spontaneously efficient as Murad. The two of them had a wonderful rapport between them and got along pretty well. Aram showed more consideration than Murad in dealing with the importance of the issue of the stolen horse. No sooner he came to know that the horse was stolen from the farmer John Byro than he ran to tell Murad about the news. He wanted Murad to return the horse only after he himself had learned to ride it properly. Of course, it was his childlike innocence that drove him to do this kind of a deal. Students, as you all know, that the story is called The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. But what does the white horse, or rather the horse, represent in this lesson? The horse represents several things. The first would be a sense of indescribable beauty. The boys are mesmerized by the presence of the horse and do not recognize it for its universal sense of beauty. I'm sorry, I mean they do recognize it for its universal sense of beauty. This is something that allows them to understand that while it is wrong to steal the horse, it might be comprehensible what they did was right. They are convincing themselves that what they did was right. The boy's life is one of struggle, both emotional and material. The horse represents a brief moment of escape from this setting, a moment of transcending their conditions of what is into one, of what and what could be. I mean, they live in conditions of extreme poverty and struggle. The horse is a brief moment of escape from this setting. At the same time, the horse represents a moment of redemption for the boys. Redemption, as I explained earlier, is the act of saving oneself from doing evil. The return of the horse and its acknowledgement by John Byro of the good deeds done help them experience a moment of humanity and dignity. Byro understands that the boys did wrong, but when they return the horse back to them, it was a moment where true nature of the boys and the sense of dignity was acknowledged and reciprocated through their actions. So to sum it up, the horse technically represents three things. It is a thing of indescribable beauty, it is a sense of escape from the poverty setting, and third, it is a means of redemption for the boys. I hope you understand this part. Moving on. Justification of the title, coming on to this aspect. The title seems to be quite appropriate given the setting of the story. Initially, one can suggest that it is set in a summertime like period. The boys can focus on the horse and are not necessarily burdened with schoolwork. Additionally, the ideas presented in the story lend themselves with fruition and full bloom of summer. These ideas relate to maturation, experiences, and collegiality. The story revolves around the beautiful white horse. If we can envision for a moment why this is so important to the boys, we can see why it would be important enough to include it in the title. Initially, we know that the boys are poor. They are of an immigrant Armenian family that is not wealthy. We know this because it is inconceivable that either of the boys would own a horse even, irrespective of the color. The fact that Aram was awakened one morning by Murad sitting atop a white horse prompts Aram to the question if it was stolen. From abject or dirt poverty to a stunning white horse, one sees that the horse is a symbol, a representation of the boy's wishes. Throughout the summer experience with the horse, they learn essential values such as compassion for the animals and trust amongst themselves. These come as a result of the beautiful white horse. The story reaches its climax when the horse is returned in better shape and temperament than before, and the boys have renewed a sense of faith in both themselves and their love for the horse. The short story is aptly titled for each part of it, and it relates to an experience within the story. Students, I would like you to make notes if that's what you wish to do. It will help you understand the story better. Moving on. How did Aram justify Murad's act of stealing the white horse in the lesson? To understand this question better, let us first take a look at Aram's thoughts and feelings when he is given a chance to ride the horse by his cousin Murad. His exact thoughts were, well, it seemed to me Stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else such as money. For all I knew, maybe it wasn't stealing at all. If you were crazy about horses the way my cousin Murad and I were, it wasn't stealing. So we see that in Aram's mind, when Murad took the horse, he had no intention of selling it to make profit or for any commercial actions, and therefore his actions cannot be described as theft. Of course, it is stealing, but it is the childlike innocence in Aram's mind, who's only 9 years old. He convinces himself that since they're not using the horse for any monetary gains, the action of stealing is not stealing at all. As such, he does not need to justify what has happened because he does not believe that his cousin Murad has broken the law. Moreover, Aram is easily able to justify his own riding of the horse. He allows himself to ride because he is crazy about horses and provides him with rare opportunity to indulge his passion. His family is so poor that this chance might not come again, so he must seize it with all arms for grabs before it is time to return the horse to the rightful owner. So, students, what do you think is the key takeaway from the story? The moral of the story, The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse, is that compassion in the face of conflicts yields room for both growth and fair compromise. John Byro knows that Murad and Aram have stolen his missing horse, a fact which is confirmed when he comes across the two boys as they are stabling the creature after their morning ride. Rather than acting out of vengeance and seeking punishment for the thieves, Byro asserts a suspicious man would believe his eyes instead of his heart. In other words, there is something important about believing in the goodness of human spirit and seeing the best in others. Byro seems to implicitly understand that the boys must have a good reason, even a spiritual reason, for taking his property away from him. Surely one would not steal unless out of a genuine need. This gentle approach to catching the boys in the act results in his horse being returned the very next morning. Much to his delight, he discovers that his horse has been well trained and he has even grown stronger and even better tempered for the time that he has been missing. Due to his generous and forgiving nature, Byro has actually gained something positive out of being a victim of a crime. This is truly a win win approach to life. So, students, you remember that I asked you in the beginning that whether the two lads, Aram and Murad, returned the horse out of being guilty conscience, that is, that the honesty in them pricked them, and therefore they returned the horse, or were they scared that one fine day they might get caught and for good, and this time Byro might not spare them for the action, so and therefore they return the horse. So this is something that is the dilemma of what must have actually gone around in the two boys his head. So first let me ex- let you expl- so first let me explain to you what is an open-ended story. An open-ended story is one in which the ending is left uncertain to one degree or another. The reader is not told all the answers and is left to figure out on their own. Some of the open ended stories guide the reader to think one way or another, even if the story does not actually specify certain facts. But other stories just leave the readers hanging. So, what does this mean? The story can have multiple interpretations and multiple facets. You may interpret one thing out of the story, and your friend may interpret something completely different. And both of you will be right because the narrator has not given the exact pieces for you to put together. I'd like you to I'd like to give you an example. If you've seen the movie Andhadhun and also Inception, they are examples of open-ended stories. because you don't know in Andhadhun what actually happened, or even in Inception, that whether it is reality or is it a dream. So this is what an open-ended story is. So how is this lesson an open-ended story? It again comes back to the same question: were the boys guilty stricken, or conscious stricken rather, that their conscience pricked them and they returned the horse, or were they just afraid of being caught and therefore they returned the horse? So I would like to leave you with this thought. Think about it, and whatever you come to a conclusion with will be right, because this is an open-ended story. Thank you for listening. That will be all for this chapter. Kindly make notes, it will help you. Thank you.